Hey guys, Magnus here bringing you another video. This one is my Treehouse of Horror 2018 ideas video. Now, this is just an idea video. This is not like a prediction. This is not actually what's going to happen. This is just what I would prefer. Something was not really, but it's more just something I kind of come up with. Now, my biggest issue with Halloween is it's just overdone now, in my opinion. Like, if you look at all the stuff they need to add, there's really not enough buildings. That's the main thing. There's plenty of characters they can add, but there really isn't that many buildings, and that's my biggest issue with the Treehouse of Horror event as a whole. That we're strapped on buildings for it. So I don't know. This is my idea on it anyway. So I've kind of gone with a theme. Now, the theme is like it's a different theme per act, and sometimes I've just sort of combined two sort of entities, if you will, or two different types of creatures, two different types of Halloween kind of creatures, just because it's too hard to really give it just one. Like, for example, I did my first act is aliens and robots. The main reason I put them together is they're loosely connected. Also, there's just not enough stuff for robots, but I would like them to do to add a few robots into the game. And then with the zombies and the demons, same thing applies. There's just not enough to do an entire act on its own. So this is kind of just my idea, something I would like. Obviously they could tweak it, definitely, but I think this would be really interesting, and mostly this is for the characters that are in here. Now, I haven't got every single costume and every single character I want in Halloween. There is way more. Look at my video last year, just search it in the channel, you'll be able to find it, when I did my ideas and predictions, because that has like all the characters I want, but this one not so much. This is just more, I tried to be realistic with it, and there is still loads of characters in this event anyway, so I kind of already loaded it with too many characters. So basically the story is it's all going to be set around the devil. So the devil is set to take over Springfield. First of all, he gets help from his alien buddies, then he sends monsters, and then when that all fails, he sends his own demons and he raises the dead. So this is kind of what's happening. So the NPCs, so these will be the free NPCs for the thing. Of course, the Gremlin will be making a reappearance. I want him back, and I want him as a permanent NPC. So after you complete each act, you get these NPCs. It saves them adding them in the takedown update later on. Like, they may as well like just do a takedown update with no content, and then just continue on, because I think it always like you have these NPCs and they always get latched on to the next update, which tends to be a mini event, and I just think it's just kind of lackluster, because you don't really care. You care about the mini event, you don't care about these NPCs. So basically, every time you complete if you complete Act 1, you get the aliens, and this is the actual both the prize track and the quest line. You can't skip the quest line. You have to do the quest line as well. So Act 1, you will unlock the aliens and the robots. Act 2, you will unlock the Gremlin. You'll unlock the aliens. These aliens, they'll just be free NPCs in one. And then at the end of Act 2, you unlock the Gremlin, finally. And then Act 3, you unlock this demon guy, the guy who's like feeding Homer donuts in that one Halloween special. These three are all going to be NPCs. So yeah, Act 1 is aliens and robots. Act 2 is just monsters, and it's just such a general term, you can do anything. And then Act 3 is demons and zombies. So let's have a look. So this is the Act 1 store. First of all, we have the Krusty Land pretzel stand. So it's actually a Krusty Land decoration, which is kind of cool. So this will be 40 donuts. This is just sort of thrown in there. We have Shrek the Preparer for 100 donuts, and this character is a little bit more expensive because his tasks will earn you the stuff for the prize track. So you can just send him on whatever tasks and you'll earn stuff for the prize track. And then David for 80 donuts, he's just an extra character. He doesn't earn anything for the event, but Shrek the Preparer does, so he's a little bit more expensive. Shrek the Preparer, I know he looks like Kang Kodos, but hey ho, it's still kind of cool to have him. And then David is kind of like a part sort of lookalike robot, which will be pretty cool. So Act 1, first of all, is Frink's house. Now, this ties into the crafting, or, well, it's not really crafting, it's sort of crafting, but I'll talk more about it when we get onto that slide. So each act has its own sort of unique first building, and for the robots and aliens event, it's Frink's house. So you get this house. Now, my only issue with adding Frink's house my only issue with adding this house even is we're not adding it with either his wife or his son, and to be honest, I guess that's my one concern, because it's just a perfect building to add with either his wife or his son, so I'm a little bit skeptical of throwing it in, but let's just ignore that for now. Then the second prize is the rocket rocket that sends the I don't know what to call it. I'm trying to think of it. The safety rocket or something. I don't know. Or the important people rocket. So this rocket, of course, is for important people, and it goes to Mars and saves everyone when the Y2K thing happens. So this will be just a kind of cool little decoration to throw in there. Then you get this alien Maggie costume, which will be pretty cool. They can throw that in there and do some cool stuff with Maggie. You have the Alien Will Say Your Name stand. This is a building with this sort of ET parody here, so you just get this little stand, but it earns cash. And then the second to last prize is actually Kang and Kodos' ship not crashed, because I really would like just a not crashed version of their ship. It just hovers in the air. That's all it does. So it's just kind of a decoration, but it of course hovers. And then the final prize is a Homer robot, and this will be a playable character. Of course, it's the robot with Homer's brain inside of it. It would be pretty cool. They could do some interesting tasks with that, and yeah, I think that it would be kind of cool. Also, I haven't done tasks for this idea video just because I generally I do not have the time to do it. It will take me forever. So there's no tasks in this one, but yeah, those are the this is Act 1, pretty cool. I think they could definitely, this is a pretty solid act. Again, aliens and robots, I think they're closely related, so it kind of ties in. So yeah, and then Act 2. So first of all, we have the Gollum's girlfriend. I forgot. I probably should have went and found her name out. I know she doesn't have a name, but the Gollum's girlfriend for 80 donuts, which will be pretty cool. And so this one isn't actually related. This doesn't include this character doesn't earn you the event currency, but the Fly does. I think they should probably just call this the Fly. They don't really have any of her, because I don't think this should be a costume, because technically it is the Fly's brain on Bart's body, so I think it makes sense that it's its own character. The only thing that could be, I guess, is a costume is Bart's head on the Fly's body. That could be a costume, but it'd be such a small costume, it'd be pretty ridiculous. So I think they should probably just not bother with that costume. But the Fly, anyway, for 100 donuts, he will earn you, of course, the event currency, and this is a character I've wanted in for so badly, so I really hope we get him this year. This like event idea doesn't have to happen. I just really want this character in. I think it's so cool. Then we have Edmund for 80 donuts. Of course, he's a Twilight parody character, but I think they could do some interesting things with him. 80 donuts is I think it's a fair price, and yeah, but he wouldn't, of course, earn event currency. And then we have the Monkey Paw Dealer for 150 donuts. This is a character and building combo. So I know this is kind of shoddy for a building, but it's just this little stand. It's not the best building. I know it's a pretty shitty building if we're saying anything, but I just think this would be the it would be at least be something. And so we get the Monkey Paw Dealer, who I think is pretty cool. Like, everyone was really hyped when we got the evil shopkeeper owner. I'd be just as hyped for the Monkey Paw Dealer. I think he looks pretty cool, and it's pretty funny. So he'll be a playable character. And so the Act 2 price track. So this is the building, I guess. Oh, sorry, the main decoration or building. Well, I guess it technically will be a building. That, of course, is going to be for the crafting is the bottomless pit. So this is just this pit with the sign next to it. This is, of course, where Homer tries to throw I think he throws the Krusty doll, doesn't he? I'm not sure, but whatever. A bunch of people throw different things down there, and then you get the King Kong Island. I know it's not called King Kong Island, but essentially the King Kong Island as a decoration for the sea. You get the Springfield Finest double cut sawmill. This is, of course, where Bart and Lisa, when Bart's head is attached to Lisa's body, he, of course, I think cuts his head off with the saw or something. I don't know, something like that. I briefly remember that episode, but yeah. So you throwing that in there, and then as double NPC is like a bundle. I think this would be so cool. Is you have the both Santa's Little Helper and Snowball's 2's bottoms together, and then also both their heads together. So these are two separate NPCs. I don't know, I just think this would be so cool, especially this one with just the two tails. I think it would be pretty cool to throw that in there. So yeah, they're just like two combined NPCs, but it's two in, like, you're getting, when you unlock that, you unlock both the NPCs, but they count as one prize. And then Donut Head Homer, of course. Another highly requested costume that a lot of people want, and I definitely want this. This is probably the one costume for Homer I really want in the game, so I threw it in here. I think this makes a lot of sense. It'd be definitely really cool to get this. And then finally, the final prize is the Golem himself with the church or the synagogue, I should say, he was made in. We only briefly saw this synagogue, but they could probably make it. They could just call it Ancient Synagogue or something like that, and then have it come with the Golem, or they could call it like Golem's, I don't know, Golem's birthplace. I don't know, but they could just call it Ancient Synagogue. That would work. And then we of course get Golem, the Golem even. Let's get rid of that. And anyway, so then we have the Gil Steal. So Gil will come along with his Gil Steal. So 350 donuts this is. So we're going to get the Tooth City. So we get the Tooth City Town Hall, which is one building. So we're going to get one building, 2 decorations, 1 costume, 1 character. So we get this. We get the Tooth Throne, if you will, as a costume. We get Tooth Lisa statue, or the Lisa statue anyway, or something like that. As another building, we get this costume for Frink, which is the tooth person. Now I know that technically this is technically a different character, but it's a Halloween episode, so I don't count that. It's a bit different when we have Halloween episodes because they're not canon, so they're not technically different characters at all. So I don't care. I'm counting this as a costume. So this will be a costume for Frank. And then we get this guy who is the I guess the mayor, because Lisa's like their queen, but he's like the mayor. So. So the mayor of Tooth City, or Tooth City Mayor, they could probably call them, and he'll be his own character, so he'll have some pretty cool tasks and stuff. So yeah, I think he would be a pretty cool character. Kind of a blink and you miss it, if you will, but I still think it would definitely be awesome. So yeah, one building there, and you get a few different other stuff as well. So I think it's a pretty cool Kills deal, and 350 I think is a fair price for that amount of content. And then Act 3. So the Act 3 store is the first thing, and the store is for 200 donuts is a Zombie Einstein and Zombie Shakespeare as a bundle. So both of these characters will earn event currency. That's why they're so expensive. But yeah, definitely really cool characters. I definitely think they could do something really interesting with both these. Plus, they're both real life people, but they're as zombies, if you will. So, be pretty cool. And then, interestingly enough, I've also thrown in a Zombie Washington costume. So this will be a costume for George Washington. So it'll be 40 donuts, and he'll have his own unique sort of zombie tasks. I think it would be kind of cool to give a costume for like a character who you'd never think would probably get a costume, and that would be George Washington, obviously, because he's just a 4th of July character. But I definitely think it would be really interesting if they threw this in. We have Senor Skeletinos for 20 donuts, just to stand with these skeletons playing the guitar and stuff, and the trumpets and all that, and the violin. So I think that would be pretty cool, just a little decoration. And then the Murder Lake for 50 donuts. This will be its own sort of building or a decoration that earns cash, either one. Of course, this is where a bunch of teens were murdered. So yeah, I think that would be also pretty awesome. So yeah, so then we have the Act 3 prize track. So the crafting, if you will, building is the Stairway to Hell. So this is just a little stairway with flames coming out of it. That's all it will be. Probably a building. Then we get the abandoned fun world. We get the what's this called? Topi? The Wig from Hell. Just call it the Wig from Hell. I forget the actual name of it, but yeah, the Wig from Hell. Anyway, this is a wig that Homer gets, and it kind of turns evil. So we'll just call it the Wig from Hell. He is meant to be from Hell, so I thought it loosely relates to this. We have Burning Willie, if you will. So this is a costume for Willie. I think it'll be pretty cool. We have the abandoned Springfield roller disco. Another sort of abandoned place. These are just to fit into the sort of zombie thing. Like these are like they just, because they look abandoned and stuff, they just kind of look spooky. I know it's not really that. It doesn't fit in that well, but whatever. And then we have Hell on Earth with the devil. So this is just a huge. I want this to be really big. Pretty big. It's just one big thing. It's on fire. It's got this little pit in the middle. Just places like buildings on fire around it, and then it's got these things like sticking out of it. Maybe not the toad, because but it's got this guy stick. Is that Gil? I'm not even too sure. Who's that meant to be? Well, whoever the heck that is. It's just got all this stuff sticking out of it, and then this will actually come with the devil. So you'll finally unlock the devil. And you unlock the little demon NPC just before this final thing here, just before this final task. So yeah, And then the crafting. So basically, with each building, I'm gonna sort of split this into three. So let's say 2 decorations each, but there could be more decorations. So let's just say for argument's sake, there's 5 decorations per act, or maybe 4. Yeah, 4 decorations per act. Now these are just different things. These are just examples, but this crafting is just for miscellaneous stuff, just stuff that really should have been added in previous things, but it wasn't. So I'll just go through it. So first of all, we have the Hamilton beach thing, which is the thing that they used to shred the kids up to eat them in that one Treehouse of Horror segment. We have Krusty Coral. This is just Krusty as a cow, I guess. They just had this little field with the sign and the little Krusty. That would just be it. We have the mental asylum ambulance. Of course, this is the one that Bart goes in when he, of course, sees the gremlin. We have the boat that brings them to the King Kong Island. Just a little boat. Just throw that in the sea. We have the. This is something Flander requests when he gets the monkey paw in the monkey paw episode. So this will be a costume. This will be actually an actual skin for the Flanders house. So it will actually completely change the Flanders house, or possibly it could be its own building. I don't know. Actually, yeah, I'd have it as its own building. I don't know what I was saying about costume. And then, so yeah, it'll be its own building. So this will be the one building that you can craft. The bomb shelter that Homer went out. I know it's sort of similar, but it does look different from other bomb shelters we got in the game. The Springfield, the first toil then grave sign, and then also the limo that brought Maggie her sacred pacifier in the monkey paw segment. So that's it. It's just the end for Zombie Shakespeare. So that's it for the event, I guess. Loads of stuff here. Definite loads of characters. So I definitely think they could do that. Oh, sugar! I completely forgot not to how to explain the crafting. So basically. So there'll be 4 decorations per act, per like the first building. So Frank's house, the stairway to hell, and also the bottomless pit. So there'll be 4 decorations bound to each of them, and instead of crafting, you have to send certain characters on tasks to unlock them. Those characters will include the characters that you unlock along the way. So of course, to say unlock one thing, you'd have to send maybe Homer on to do something, then maybe Bart to do something, then you'd have to send Maggie to do something, this version of Maggie, the alien Maggie, and then eventually, if you want the last thing, you'll have to send the Homer robot to do something, and then the same thing will apply for each other act, where you'll have to send the Donut Head Homer and then the Golem later on, and then with this one, you'd have to send the evil. This will be a playable character, by the way. The evil Wig. You have to send him on to do something, and then you'll also have to send Willie on to do something, and then eventually you'll also have to send the Devil to do something, or maybe not the Devil, but you'd have to send those first 2. But anyway, that's it for the event. I hope you enjoyed. I know it's kind of confusing. I tried to go through a lot of stuff here. Sorry if I was rambling and stuff in bits, but I tend not to edit these videos. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next video, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.